Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Roughing the Competition. For those of you who have not seen our videos yet, my name is Brant and this is Trevor. And today we're going to be covering part 2 of our 6-part series looking at conference outlook.
Yeah, to kick things off, we looked at the Big 12 last week. Both of us ended up picking West Virginia to win. Little different ways that we got them to that title, but we both had them there. Now, today we're going to turn gears over and look at the ACC. Now, to kick things off right away here in the ACC, we're just going to quickly take a look at the Atlantic side of the conference. Now, this is a side that a lot of people think is already shored up with Clemson. Now, we're going to see if we agree or disagree with that here. And to kick that off, Brant, what's your thoughts on the Atlantic side?
Well, I agree with that statement. I think Clemson's going to take this Atlantic.
Yeah.
I don't see anyone there with Syracuse. Syracuse is up and coming.
Yeah.
They have good coach now in Dino Babers.
Yeah.
And NC State has that good quarterback, Finley.
Mm-hmm.
He's talented.
Yeah.
But I just think Clemson has way too much talent on that defense.
Mm-hmm.
And with Lawrence taking over, I mean, he obviously got that starting job for a reason.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely have seen Clemson have their ups and downs at quarterback. I mean, Trevor Lawrence has won the job outright. Kelly Bryant's transferring. We just got that news this week. But you don't see anyone else piquing any curiosity? You got any battles going on there you want to mention?
I think Syracuse and NC State for that 2 spot.
Yeah.
They're both talented. They're both up and coming. So
Mhm.
I think it's going to be interesting. Right now, I do have Syracuse beating them.
Okay.
But that game could be a coin flip.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that, which, as you can see on my side, I kind of view the Atlantic a little bit differently here. I mean, right off the top, I got Syracuse winning it. I mean, that's going to be a shocker to most people. And for Syracuse to get there, they're going to have to do some work. I mean, I honestly think Clemson's in a little bit of trouble mid-season. I think that allows teams like Syracuse and NC State to kind of sneak up the board a little bit on them. I mean, I know Clemson, everyone thinks is this runaway favorite, but Trevor Lawrence is a freshman. And I know he's played well so far, but I think he's going to stumble middle of the season. I'm really looking big at those NC State and Florida State matchups here in a couple weeks. They're going to win big at Syracuse this week, probably take care of Wake, then have a bye, and I think NC State trips them up coming out of that bye. And Florida State's got to win something at some point to give Willie Taggart a little bit of credibility. And the talent's there. The game is in Tallahassee. I think Florida State clips Clemson, and once that happens, that's going to move Clemson out of this discussion. And I think Syracuse's only loss comes at Clemson this week. And I think they're going to run away with the division. I think NC State's going to get great play out of Finley throughout this remainder of the season. And their loss, though, is going to also come at Syracuse, which is why Syracuse is going to be ahead of them. Rest of the Atlantic, I don't even see bothering talk about. It's not good. Florida State's going to be up and down. They're going to win a couple of surprises. They got beating Clemson. They're also going to fall apart on the back end. Teams like Notre Dame are going to have a field day with Florida State at the back end. Same with Florida. With that said, though, that's kind of where we see the Atlantic at. As you saw, Brant sticking to the guns that everyone has with Clemson. I'm going way off the scale here, and I got Syracuse and NC State both jumping Clemson, just like I probably have a lot of people hearing this jumping me for being an idiot. But that's okay. We'll turn things over and look at the Coastal now and see how that shapes up. Now, Brant, what you got for the Coastal?
I think the Coastal is going to be pretty straightforward as well.
Yeah.
I think Miami's going to run away with it.
Yeah, that still seems to be the favorite.
It's even though Rozier's lost his job to N'Kosi Perry.
Yeah.
I believe that defense is just ridiculous.
Yeah, they were stellar last night. All those turnovers at UNC, 3 picks, forcing
They're
5
pulling
fumbles.
that turnover chain out.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they're going to continue doing that all season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see them losing a single game in the ACC right now because they don't have Clemson, like Clemson or anyone like that.
Yeah. Do you see anyone giving them any types of fits throughout the season, or are you kind of
I
wrapped
know
up?
it's kind of crazy, but Duke.
You think Duke will?
Duke. I mean, the ACC is weak this year. Let's face it.
Yeah.
And the Duke is going to take advantage of that weakness there.
Yeah.
And with Virginia Tech losing their quarterback, was it Jackson?
Yeah, it was Jackson.
And I think for the season now.
I'm not sure on that. I know things were still being tested.
I saw it out indefinitely. So
Okay.
yeah. So I don't think Virginia Tech's going to be that good without him.
Yeah.
I think they're going to lose that dual threat presence.
Yeah.
So I think Duke is going to take advantage and finish second in that Coastal.
Really?
Yep.
With you saying that, though, actually, that dual threat's a good transition here for me. I think that dual threat, while it takes it out of Virginia Tech's hands, I'm with you on Duke. I think Duke is going to have the luckiest season that we've seen. They just put in a new quarterback there, which his name keeps slipping my mind. It's Quentin Harris. I had to look down to remember it. He is a kid who seems to be running and passing these past 2 weeks since he's taken over the job from Jones there. Jones went down with that season-ending injury, and now Duke's trying to kind of keep this momentum going. They're 4-0 coming out of non-conference. I mean, their schedule ain't great. They beat Army, they beat Northwestern, they beat Baylor. Those are not good wins, but the way they won was substantial. They won by double digits in each one. I think they're going to continue that roll through this. And I think we're going to see that this week. They're going to get a chance with Virginia Tech coming off that rough Old Dominion loss to get that quality win under their belt. And they're going to get it done, I think. I think they're going to pull that win there. They're going to take a bye week. And then they're going to end up with Georgia Tech. I think they get that done. They'll probably stumble at Virginia. That'll be their loss that I think really is that loss they should get. Now, I do, as the season goes on, I have them winning games they should. Pitt, UNC, Wake. I also got them upsetting Miami. I know, you're not a fan of that, and we just talked about the turnover chain. Miami's got a lot of confidence rolling into that game against Duke. They're going to take care of Florida State, Virginia, and Boston College before then, and I think they're going to win all of those big. And then I think Duke is that team that controls the ball and surprises them. Now, with that said, the reason I bring that up is I think Duke does win this side of the conference. I really do. I think that loss by Miami will hurt them because I also think Miami's going to trip up later in the year at Virginia Tech, which will keep them from being 7-1 and leave them at 6-2 in conference. This will be key because Duke has beat them head to head, and I got Duke's finishing 6-2, so they're going to slide above Miami. And I know Virginia's tied there too, but Virginia's going to lose to Miami and slide right behind those two. So it's going to be a tight race, and Duke might lose this, but I really think that upset of Miami is going to be huge for them in the second half. And I mean, you got any thoughts on that?
My biggest question for Duke is: are they real or are they fake? That's my biggest issue because they haven't really beat anyone that's that great, that good a competition. So I'm worried for them to beat teams like Miami if they're going to have, the talent, or if they're actually that good to beat them.
Yeah, I like how you mentioned that because Duke is this team that I think has been slowly building this football program. I mean, we're not too far removed from 2-10 Duke teams, 1-11 teams, and just they lost every ACC game. Maybe they beat a D2 school to open up the year. That was their only win. They're a program that's been building for a few years. And I think they're going to get the advantage of an easy schedule. Not only do they get those 3 big wins to open up the season, Army, Baylor, Northwestern, 3 good major conference wins against weak foes in the other conferences, but still they didn't go play D2 schools. But look at the schedule down the stretch. Virginia Tech this week coming off the Old Dominion loss. That could be a huge win for them. Then they're going to get a bye week. They'll be 5-0 kind of refocusing. So, 5-0, we're already halfway to 10. They're going to beat Georgia Tech coming out. They're probably going to lose to Virginia. Virginia's a good school. But Pitt, I don't have Pitt really winning anything. Actually, I don't have them winning at all from here on. I don't think that's a good school. I think Duke takes care of business there. And Miami is just, I'm throwing that one out there. I just think Miami's going to be too confident. It bit them beginning of the season at LSU. It's going to beat them again here at Duke. And then, from there, you just got them finishing up with UNC. They're going to lose to Clemson, and then they wrap up at Wake.
See, I actually have them beating Virginia.
I know, you haven't beaten Virginia.
I have them undefeated all the way up to Miami.
Yeah, and then you got Miami taking care of which, either way, it's a back and forth there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the only other things I want to mention on that side, though, looking at it, I think Virginia Tech is a team that's going to start rough here. They're going to be 2-3, I think. Mm-hmm. They're going to lose these next 2 games, and then they're going to finish strong, which will allow them to get that upset of Miami. They're going to play 3 games before that where they play Georgia Tech, BC, and Pitt. They're going to get that swagger back, which made us wonder why they were a ranked team and what happened. I think they beat Miami, but then they play that rivalry game in the season at Virginia, and that's going to trip them up. But that's the only other interesting story I see on this side of the conference.
Like I said, I don't really believe the ACC is that great this year.
Yeah.
They're very top heavy. I have 6 teams here with a winning record. Mm-hmm. And that's out of 14, that's not the greatest.
Looking at my side, I got a lot of 1-7s in conference. This is not a good conference. For them to make the playoff, it's going to be Clemson or bust for them, I think. I don't think Miami can get back there. I think it's going to come down to can Clemson remain undefeated.
And that's where we go into the ACC championship game.
Yep.
Where you have Syracuse and Duke.
Yeah, I got Syracuse winning this. I just think they're the better team. But I do think the interesting thing with both these teams is I think both quarterbacks of each team are balanced, and I think they can control the tempo of the game. I just think Syracuse is better than Duke.
I think, I did have Clemson at first.
Yeah.
But the more I think about it, with that, I think defense wins championships. And I think that turnover chain is going to overcome that freshman a little bit.
Yeah.
Lawrence, and I'm going to go with Miami winning the ACC this year.
Good call. I mean, I'm not against that call. If Miami gets there, I definitely would be picking the hot hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of wraps us up here looking at the ACC in general, or as Brant likes to call it, the Pacific Conference. Which, yeah, you mess up once and I'm on doggy for it. It's okay though. But we wrapped it up here. I mean, Brant, you got what, Clemson, or you said Miami winning, right?
Yep.
Miami winning. I got Syracuse. Either way, this conference is a dumpster fire. I mean, it's just simple enough. It's a dumpster fire.
I would like to sing a song.
No.
No?
Go ahead. Go for it.
For all my West Virginia fans, this is for you, Pitt. Sweet Caroline, eat.
Hey, no. I know what you're going to say there, and this is a family show. Family show, okay?
Pitt.
Yeah, it rhymes with Pitt people. That's just it. But, yeah, I mean, with that now said, you got your homerism out of the way. We're just going to go ahead and wrap it up and say thanks to you guys again. You've been great so far these first couple weeks. We're going to keep pumping out content. We hope you keep watching. We are going to be upgrading our facilities this week. By that I mean we're probably going to get rid of this nasty handwriting of ours and look more towards the digital era. Bum, bum, bum. But that kind of wraps it up on my end. I believe Brant had something he wanted to wrap up. No, you don't? Okay.
Yeah,
okay, never mind. I forgot. It's going to actually be me wrapping up this week. We want to take a moment to give a special mention to a buddy of ours. Mason has been a big supporter of this show since we first came up with the idea and started rolling with it. He's dealing with some tough personal issues this week. We just want to give a shout out and say, hey, buddy, we're here for you. Hope you're doing well. I'll catch you later.
Let us know if you need anything. And
Yep.
to you fans, follow us on Twitter.
Yeah.
Follow us on Facebook. I'm going to keep on doing that every week.
Yeah.
Until you guys finally do it.
He is. So just do it.
Y'all have a good one.
Yeah, thanks.